What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video for Friday, April 5th. We are back. If you've never been here before, you're in for a treat. A little bit different than what you're probably used to, but hopefully this will be your go-to YouTube channel, website, everything for DFS needs, specifically MLB. We've got NBA, we've got PGA, we've got NASCAR on the website as well. So I want to welcome everyone for the first time, or welcome every single person back. Now, if you're new to the channel, we have giveaways every single day. We might start bumping the numbers up, but as of now, anytime we get at least 50 likes on a video, you leave a comment, you are a subscriber, and you like the video, you have a chance to win a weekly pass to FTA+. Anytime we get 100 likes on the video, you have a chance to win a month pass to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. If we get this video to 150 likes, we will give away a yearly pass, normally worth $199. And if any of our videos ever get to 200 or more likes, we will give away lifetime passes to one lucky person. So you got to like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment for the comment picker to pick you up. The second way to win every single day, check it out. Like the video, be a subscriber. Tell me who's going to hit a home run and what inning they're going to hit it in. If you get those correct, and if you get the player and the inning correct, email me DFSHelp1 with your YouTube username. I'll make sure that's the person who won, and we will get you set up for a free week of FTA+. So, that being said, we are going to see who the winner from yesterday's video is. So, ton of likes on the video, a ton of comments. So, we are going to see who the winner is. The winner will then be, the name will be posted on the comment section down here, and I'll pin it. And then if you see that you're the winner, email me, and we will get you set up for the pass that you won. So we're very excited. We have giveaways every single time. So check this video out. Anytime we have NBA videos, check those NBA videos out. In theory, you could win 4 times a day, except if you won lifetime pass, you can only win 1 time. So that being said, we're going to see who the winner from yesterday is. So we've already preloaded the yesterday's video. All the comments are in there. Let's check out who will go home with the free pass. For all you had to do was leave a comment. The winner is Steve Green 6301. Let's get this money. Yes, Steve, let's get this money. Let's bring home the bacon. Congratulations, Steve. So what I need you to do is like this video so I know you saw it, and then email me dfshelp1@gmail.com, and we will get you set up for your free pass. Come back tomorrow, the next day. Everyone can be a winner. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make you a better DFS player. So in the description of this video is this article that you can see right here, which coincides with this slate of games today. We also have our Discord link in there, so you can check out the Discord link. We're trying to make a great community, so it'd be awesome if you guys could go back and forth. We got questions, we've got answers, we've got questions. You help each other out. It's been awesome what we've done the past couple of weeks. Also, if you want to throw idea lineups around, you can do that. If you want to throw around some bets, some sports bets that you like, and have people go back and forth, we can do that as well. We've also partnered with DFS Hero. They are a fantastic website that has a fantastic optimizer. Use our information, our projections, to link it into their optimizer and bring home that bacon together. The link in the description, if you sign up using our link, first time deposit, you will get 15% off. And you sign up for a month, we will give you a free month of FTA+. You sign up for their yearly package, we will give you a yearly pass to DFS Hero. You'll already have, and you'll get it from FTA+ as well. So the website, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, that is that. We've got a ton of MLB information here. We've got a ton of games on this slate. We're still part of the season where the slate's split up a little bit. So I cannot wait to get to the point where we have a main slate. It all starts at like 6:05 minus like 1 game. But we got, I think, 5 games early, and then 6 games early and 7 games the main slate at the normal time we're used to. So we're going to check it out. We're going to look at the plays. We're going to look at everything, and we're going to build from there. If you check out our Discord as well, we give out core plays. We give out value plays every single day too. And on top of that, at the end of this video, We do 20,000 simulations a day for MLB and for NBA. We're going to give you what the algorithm, after 10,000 simulations, the top 20 bats overall that it spit out through 10,000 simulations. Those obviously can change throughout the day when news comes out, weather comes out. So that's why I tell you, check back about 2 hours before first pitch, and hopefully we're able to bring home the bacon for you. So the poppy flavor of the day is Doc Pop, which is Dr. Pepper, just, not as much sugar, 5 grams of sugar. I don't know. If you guys drink this, let me know any of your favorite flavors. I tried the regular cola. Just tastes like just terrible flat pop. So that's where we're at. But you are here for MLB. Let's get it going. Today is the last day. This is the final day to go to FTA Plus. The yearly pass normally $199 using the promo code MLB VIP, all one word, all capital letters. Last day to get it for $75 instead of $200. So if you've been on the fence about it, today is going to be the last day. Then all the coupon codes are deleted and no more. Get every sport we do for 1 year for $75 instead of $30 a month. So last day is today. So the article on here, you can check it out. It's in the description of the video. Out of all of the pitchers that we're about to go over and all of the bats that we talk about, we give you our, depends on how many pitchers are out there, 5, 6, 7 top pitchers, and then 3 to 5 bats at each position that we like as well. So looking at the first game on the slate, a Friday afternoon in the Bronx, which doesn't usually happen. It's usually a night game. We got Yusei Kikuchi versus Marcus Stroman. So Kikuchi, they've seen each other a ton. 110 plate appearances, 242 batting average, 21.8 K percentage. As you know, most of the Yankees' pretty good bats are right-handed hitters who like to feast on left-handed pitching. So we'll look at that. Flip side of that, Marcus Stroman facing his old team. Pumped up, had a fantastic debut for the Yankees last week. Came through. Now he's hopefully bringing home the bacon here at home. 74 plate appearances against his former team. Only 16.2 K percentage, 279 batting average. If he can stay on pace, the Yankees should be able to keep him in this game as long as everything goes through. But we will look at the bats real quick. We will see if any of them make sense. We will look at all of them, and we can kind of see. So Aaron Judge against Kikuchi, 4 for 20, 2 home runs. Glaber leading off, hasn't looked the best, 9 for 22 with 2 doubles and a triple out of him, batting .409. We've got Stanton, 1 for 14, who's looked pretty bad this year. Verdugo, I believe Verdugo actually hits lefties pretty well. And in his career, 5 for 13 against him with 2 doubles. Had that monster home run in extra innings on Wednesday. Rizzo's only 1 for 10 with a double. Grisham probably isn't playing. Oswaldo Cabrera's been absolutely hot. So Oswaldo is a switch hitter, but it looks like they're maybe just trying to keep him left side of the plate from now on. But he's been hitting well. I mean, he's hitting amazing right now. Volpe is also hitting well, only 1 for 5, but the way he's been doing, I just don't see how Volpe slows down right now. Trevino, he's 1 for 4. I don't trust him enough. I'd rather see Austin Wells in there, but it most likely will be Trevino. So I would still be looking at stacking the Yankees. I would look at Judge, Glaber. I would look at Volpe for sure. You got to go Juan Soto as well. Lefty on righty matchup does not matter. MLB just put out their first power ranking. He's number 2. It's got Mookie Betts number 1, Juan Soto number 2, and Bobby Witt Jr. number 3, which I have all 3 of those on my fantasy baseball team because my team's amazing. So I would definitely be looking at a Yankee stack there, depending on where you want to go. On the flip side of that, this Toronto team has not looked good. Looking at, so they played early, then they had to face Houston, but Toronto's 3-4. They've only scored 22 runs. Okay, see, it's kind of low, but they just haven't won the game. They haven't looked good to start the season. Now, it's Yankee Stadium. Anything can happen. Stroman could have an off day, but when Stroman is on, he's one of the best young pitchers out there. Then we've got players that have had success against him. Kevin Kiermaier against Stroman, 9 for 35 with 2 doubles and a triple, along with 2 home runs. Lefty on righty matchup. George Springer's 2 for 9 with a home run. You got Justin Turner, 4 for 9 with 2 doubles. Dalton Varsho, 1 for 3. That one hit was a home run against him. Vlad Guerrero, 2 for 3. You got IKF coming home. Probably doesn't do much. Vogelbach, I wouldn't use. I wouldn't use Servin. Bo Bichette has looked... I don't know. He hasn't looked good, but I could see you making a case for a small Toronto stack. But honestly, I'm probably early slate, probably going to be using some Stroman over anyone else. So I don't have any love for Kikuchi in this one. I'd rather stack the Yankees bats. Again, I can be completely wrong. I understand that. If I was right all the time, I wouldn't be doing these videos because I'd be counting my money on my own island that I owned. But in my instance, in my what I would look at, I'm not paying money for Kikuchi. I'd rather take Yankees bats, and I do love me some Stroman here. One-off couple of bats for Toronto early if you're not going with Stroman. Next game, Athletics versus the Tigers. JP Sears versus Tariq Skubal. Skubal was our number one pitcher on opening day. I'm going back to him. I would obviously love him if he were in Oakland pitching, but I'll still take him at home. 30 plate appearances, 172 batting average. Struck out over probably 16 of the 30 batters. I want Skubal here. It's going to be expensive, but I want Skubal. I want nothing to do with JP Sears, and I want nothing to do with the Sacramento A's. I don't want anything to do with them. They don't know what they're doing. They're moving. It's crazy what's going on there. I want nothing to do with the A's. I want everything to do with the Tigers. And then the A's or the Tigers bats that I would look at would be Torkelson, Kerry Carpenter. You could be looking at Parker Meadows. I'll have a little bit of exposure to, depending on the lineup that comes out, because they did play. They played on Thursday. You could be looking at anyone from, Gio Urshela against a lefty. I don't mind him either. So I don't want anything to do with JP Sears. I don't want anything to do with Oakland. I'll take Tariq Skubal, and I will take the bats for Detroit. We move to the next game, LA Dodgers versus the Cubs. So Bobby Miller was our second pitcher. I think our last Friday. So a week ago, he was the picture of the video and the article for pitcher. In that game, I love that matchup for him. He's got a matchup here in Chicago. Chicago's actually been putting up some runs. But the Dodgers, Kyle Hendricks, 67 plate appearances, a 328 batting average. He's just a boring pitcher. He doesn't strike out a ton, 10.4 K percentage. He just looks bored out there, which is wild. Kyle Hendricks looks like what Anthony Rendon feels like out on the field. Bored, doesn't want to be there. Got a World Series ring though. But again, Freddie Freeman's 5 for 13 with a double and a home run off of him. Max Muncy's 3 for 8 with a double and a home run. Chris Taylor's 3 for 8 with a triple and a home run. Like, they've seen him. They've used him. Mookie Betts is in there. I'll be looking at a Dodger stack early. I think it'll be the most popular stack early. So if you want to pivot off of the Dodgers because they're so expensive, you could look at the Yankees bats there, or maybe the Yankees and Dodgers are the pitchers or the stacks to go. I don't think you'll be able to afford them. But that's kind of what I would look at. I don't want anything to do with Hendricks. I just don't like him. He's boring. Will he have a good game? He could. On the off chance you do a contrarian GPP lineup, you put him out there, but he's probably not going to strike out very many, and it's still the Dodgers. So I'll have a little bit of exposure to Bobby Miller, but again, with the way this ballpark goes with the wind, I'm a little bit weary of pitchers here. I'd rather take the batters. Move to the next game. We finally get a Coors Field day. If you've never had a Coors day before, the ball flies out of here tremendously. Now we've got Zach Littell versus Austin Gomber. Littell, 36 plate appearances against the Rockies, 235 batting average. Usually, for tournaments, you could throw in one of these pitchers, but I'd rather take bats. 9 times out of 10, bats in Coors are going to out-trump any pitcher in Coors, unless it's like a stud who can mow them down regardless of where they're at. Austin Gomber, on the other hand, 30 plate appearances, a 286 batting average. I would be looking at bats in this one. I don't really want anything to do with the pitchers. So you could be looking at, against Austin, Gomber's giving up 3 home runs to Ahmed Rosario, 3 for 9. Arosa Reyna's 1 for 3 with a home run. Isaac Paredes has 1 for 2 with a home run. I would still throw in Brandon Lau here, Yandy Diaz, Jose Siri. I honestly don't mind a Tampa Bay stack. You could go either way. You could go the traditional 1 through 4 to 1 through 5 batters, or you could go 7 through 2, 7 through 1, 7 through 2 batters. They're called the wraparound stack. Doesn't really matter to me. in Coors, this is the problem. When they're in Coors, you're going to see a price hike in them. And that's kind of what scares me a little bit. But you can find those for every Brandon Lau. You could use a Paredes. You could use a Jose Siri. You could get a little bit cheaper bats there. And then the flip side here, against Littell, Ryan McMahon's 1 for 5. Elias Diaz is 2 for 6 with a home run. Charlie Blackmon 1 for 4 with a double. You've got Nolan Jones 1 for 3 with a triple. These are just bats that I would use. I would use McMahon. I would use some sort of combination of Brendan Rodgers, Nolan Jones, Ezekiel Tovar. These are all sort of ones that I'd be looking at. I won't be heavy on this because the bats will be extremely expensive here, but you can make a case for looking at some. I wouldn't use the pitchers here. The bats, there is a case for it in there since it's a small early slate. Then you got the Orioles versus the Pirates. Pirates have been hot right now. Neither pitcher have seen each other. Grayson Rodriguez, Jared Jones. Rodriguez up and down last year. I still would use him. We used him his last start. He did okay for us. Jared Jones, I want to say we used him as a tournament pitcher last week, but I can't remember. I think it was an SP2. I don't mind either of these pitchers. But again, the bats, if you're not going with either of these pitchers, both of these offenses have been hitting very well to start the season. That's what's wild. They're both doing very well to start the season. So Orioles, you could look at Santander. You could be looking at Gunnar Henderson, Rushman. The Baltimore bats. Pittsburgh bats, depending, O'Neal Cruz, Cabrian Hayes, McCutchen, Triolo you could look at. Sawinski is another one that we've been using lately, and we've been cashing very well. So part of FTA Plus, you get DFS information, DFS lineups, core plays. You also get sports betting. And we've been absolutely killing it with our home run bets on sports betting. And I want to continue that tonight with you guys as well. And I think there could be a couple of home runs in this game tonight. Move on to the next game. We've got the Padres versus the Giants here. Dylan Cease versus Jordan Hicks. Hicks, I still think he's a project for a starter. Obviously, he wanted to be a starter, but we're used to him in the bullpen with the Cardinals and with the Blue Jays, but that's what we've got there. Dylan Cease, he's had success against them. I love this because if you guys have been with us since last year or even what I've talked about this year, we finally get an Oracle Park San Francisco Giants home game. Love to take pitching here. I would look at Dylan Cease. He's had success against them in the past. 62 plate appearances, 33.9 K percentage, 122 batting average, 17.7 walk percentage against this current Giants roster. Now we look at that, and I love what it brings to the table. I think both pitchers are viable here. I think Cease is more of your cash option. I think Jordan Hicks is more of your tournament option. If you want to go bats-wise against Hicks, obviously you could look at Bogarts. You could look at Hassan Kim, Jake Cronenworth, Machado, Tatis. You could look at him. Flip side of that, Giants bats, depending on who's out there. Jorge Soler, you could look at Lamont Wade Jr., again, we're waiting to see the lineup that comes out. Matt Chapman makes a little bit of sense, but Cease has had their number. Overall, I'm probably leaning more towards Cease than I would at Giants bats today. But again, if you got a gut feeling for some of those bats, you can definitely go with your gut. But in this game, I would be looking at Cease, and I think I kind of would look at San Diego bats because Hicks' numbers are all based from bullpen. So 25 plate appearances, 1 or 2 at bats. We can just look real quick. 1 or 2 at bats are going to be when he was a bullpen guy, and he would come in and shut down guy for 1 inning, stuff like that. But now he's kind of struggled as a starter through spring training and stuff like that. So 4 plate appearances for Machado, 4 for a couple others, 2 and 3 for some. So though I would say maybe he does well the first 2 times around the order if he gets there, but then that 3rd time around the order, that's where I think they could go off. So a Jackson Merrill's 0 for 2, but again, if Hicks is still in the game after the 3rd time through the order, or after the 2nd time through the order, that's when I think San Diego could jump on him and have their day with them. So I don't think I'll have any exposure to Hicks at all. I'd rather take Cease, and I'd rather take some of the San Diego bats here. Then we finally get to the main slate. We got Jose Quintana versus Hunter Green in Great American Small Park. The Mets have looked bad, though. Overall, Quintana, 38 plate appearances, 314 batting average against the Reds, only 13.2 K percentage, 2.6 walks. So he's not really walking them. He's not really striking them out. And he's given up a 300 batting average with a 312 WOBA. Flip side of that, Hunter Green, 77 plate appearances, a 250 batting average, 26 K percentage. So let's just look at the bats real quick and kind of see what Jose Quintana has done. The bats, I mean, you're going to see a little bit, but like Candelario's 3 for 7, Stuart Fairchild's 2 for 4, Espinal is 2 for 2. So all of these bump up that. They jack up that batting average to almost 300. So you can kind of see that there. No one's hit a home run. No one's hit a triple. Only a couple of doubles from Candelario and Stuart Fairchild. But again, at home, I would look at Ellie De La Cruz. I would look at Jamer Candelario. I would look at Spencer Steer. Nick Martini might be a cheaper option as well. And then if we look at the Mets bats against Hunter Green, the Mets are going to Met all year, I believe. They have not looked good. They usually don't look good, if you want to be truthful. It's very hard to like any of these Mets bats when it comes down to it. Hunter Green, though, has given up 6 home runs. Brandon Nimmo, 5 for 9 with a home run. Tyrone Taylor, 2 for 9 with a home run. Lindor, 1 for 8 with a home run. Lindor, there's something out there that he's not looking right now. I can't remember, Mendoza came out and said his front shoulder or his back, something was wrong. Whether or not that's in his head, we don't know. Pete Alonso, 2 for 6, but those 2 hits were home runs. Harrison Bader, 1 for 5 with a home run. So Bader is going back to where he played after getting traded last year. While he's there. I think a lot of people will be a Hunter Green, but it's hard to take a pitcher in Great American Small Park. They give up a ton of runs here. And if we look at the park factors, number 1 park on the slate for home runs, Coors Field, not surprising. Great American Small Park is number 3 on the list with wind blowing directly out. PNC Park is number 2 with wind blowing directly out. So there are tons of options here that we could look at, but obviously the number 1 field for home runs today is Coors Field. Number 2 is PNC Park between Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Number 3 is Great American Small Park between New York Mets and Cincy. Number 4 is Truist Park, Arizona versus Atlanta. The wind is blowing out. And number 5 is American Family Field. It's a dome. It's Seattle versus Milwaukee. So those are the top 5 best chances for home runs in there. And then there's some other ones that we'll talk about. Globe Life Field against Astros versus Texas. Astros got the edge. We had Jordan in all of our lineups 2 nights ago. 2 home runs in that one. They've got the best chance for home runs due to no weather factor. The dome should be closed. Coors is number 2. American Family Field 3. Great American Small Park is another one that you could be looking for home runs as well. The wind is blowing in at Wrigley, Kauffman, and Oracle Park, so that will give a boost to the pitchers in that slate. So I'd rather take the bats in here. I'd probably steer clear from the pitchers here. If we look at what they've done, we can look. Hunter Green against the Mets. Game log. His last start against Washington, 4.2 innings, 2 earned runs. That was at home, 4 walks, 7 Ks, 15.1, kind of under what we were looking for there. Not what you want to see. I'm probably off of him. Again, I'm probably looking at the bats here. And then Quintana here, coming off 4.2 innings against Milwaukee. Only 4 Ks, 2 walks, 1 home run, 9.7. So yeah, I would focus on the bats in this matchup, the ones we just talked about. Next game, Phillies at the Nationals. Aaron Nola versus to be announced, but it's looking like it might be Patrick Corbin. Yeah, it should be Patrick Corbin. The way it's unbelievable how bad Patrick Corbin has been since signing that massive contract with Washington. 4.1 innings his last start, 2 home runs, 4 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 1 fantasy point. 1 fantasy point. If it is in fact Patrick Corbin, I'm stacking the Phillies. Don't care lefty on righty matchup. I'm taking Aaron Nola against Washington. He's had their number, struck out 27.4% of those batters. I'm taking Aaron Nola here, and I'm taking the Phillies bats. I'm looking at Trey Turner against a lefty. I'm looking at Kyle Schwarber. I'm looking at Harper. I don't care. Brandon Marsh. Like, these are the bats that I'm looking for Philly. So I'm stacking Philly, and I'm looking at Aaron Nola. I'm now looking, as of now, it says to be announced, but it should be Patrick Corbin. If it is changed, I'm probably still taking the Phillies bats. So be that as it may, at the moment of making this video, they don't have it listed, but if it is Patrick Corbin, that would bump Philly up to one of my favorite stacks. Next game, Arizona at the Braves. Arizona, they won one game against the Yankees. Yes, they were the World Series team last year for the National League. It's been up and down for them. They obviously had a fantastic match. I mean, they had a walk in the park series against Colorado. They did lose one game there. Then they had to face the Yankees, who everyone thought they would beat. They beat them in one game. Now they get Braves at home. Spencer Strider, 45 plate appearances against the Braves, 105 batting average, and a 40K percentage. Obviously, we know, he needed 18 strikeouts to start the season. So I think he needs 10 in this game, which I think he could easily get if it comes down to it. He's had success in the past against them. He had 8 strikeouts against Philly, and they're a better team. I absolutely love him here against Arizona. And then it's very hard to take Tommy Henry. We look at what Tommy Henry did last week. His last start against Colorado. 4 innings, 5 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2.2 fantasy points. I'm stacking the Braves here. They're going to be very expensive, but it's going to be worth it. I'm looking at Ozuna. I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Duvall is in there. How cheap is Adam Duvall on this slate? Let's see how cheap Duvall is. 4,000. So he's up there. But depending on where he bats, has had one good. I mean, he's only played 3 games. Monitor the situation. He would be probably one of the cheapest Braves bats if he's actually going. Let's see, just hitter wise. Arcia is a little bit cheaper. Darno, Kelenic, but Duvall at 4,000. I wouldn't mind. Arcia though is cheaper and is averaging more. Played more games. That's probably where you'd go. But if Duvall is in there, we could see some vintage Atlanta Duvall where he hits the ball very well against lefties. Acuna against the lefty. Olsen, lefty, doesn't matter. Austin Riley hits lefties well. Albies is a switch hitter. Ozuna hits lefties well. Duvall hits lefties well. So I would not be surprised if Duvall is in there, and we want to take advantage of that. I don't want Tommy Henry. I will have exposure to Spencer Strider. He's probably going to be the chalk cash pitcher of the main slate, but we'll take it for cash. White Sox versus the Royals. You got Eric Fetty-Wap versus Brady Singer. This is a pitcher's park. The wind, as of now, is blowing in. Will I have exposure to him? Probably not. Only 10 plate appearances, 444 batting average, 10K percentage there. Singer, 136 plate appearances against the White Sox, 281 batting average, 22.1K percentage. The White Sox have been bad. We can look at this, and let's just take a look. Eric Fetty, I want nothing to do with him. Against Detroit, though, he did go 4.2 innings with 7 Ks. Tournament, I would be okay with him, I guess. But again, Kansas City, when they're on, they're hitting. They've been hitting lately. I'd rather probably... I could see you taking Fetty for tournaments. There's no way you put him in cash. I'd rather take a Royal stack, though. I would look at Pasquantino. I would look at Salvador Perez. I would look at Bobby Witt Jr. I would look at MJ Melendez. But maybe, if I make 25 lineups, 50 lineups, something like that, if you're making more, which you can use DFS Hero to do, I believe, up to 150. But if you do the year package, I think you can do 500 lineups. Link down below. But they are not a sponsor to the video. They are a partner with our website. So if you are making that, so let's say you do use DFS Hero and you build all those lineups, get some exposure, maybe 2% exposure to Fetty, just in case. But I'd rather take Royals bats there. And then Brady Singer, on the other hand, is 8,700 against the White Sox. Career-wise, 136 plate appearances, like I said, 281 batting average. Seeing what he's done, coming off a fantastic game against Minnesota. They ended up winning 11-0, 7 innings pitched, only allowed 3 hits, 1 walk, no earned runs, and 10 strikeouts. Now he's got a better matchup against White Sox, but they have hit him in the past. So let's see if it's like a certain pitcher or a certain batter that's hit him, or if it's just overall the team has just hit him well in his career. Moncada batting .217, 5 for 23 with a home run. Eloy is 10 for 22. Isn't Eloy hurt? He's probably going to get hurt now if he's not. Yeah, day-to-day. Weird day-to-day. I'm so shocked. Could try to do some running on Wednesday. Missed the third. Yeah, he has not played since the 31st, which was Sunday, where he got hurt after 3 at-bats. Because why wouldn't he get hurt? This dude is unbelievably made of glass. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do anything. Even with him being out and one of the hitters that have had success against him the most, Brady Singer's at the top of my list. Cheaper option. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm looking at. So if you look at this, it's Strider, Kirby, Gilbert, Castillo. Well, no, it's not. Strider, Gilbert, Peralta, Nola, Singer. Singer at 8,700. Save a little bit of money off Nola if you don't want to pay for Nola. Completely understand. Coming off a fantastic start there. Nola didn't have it his first game, but now he's got a great matchup here against the Washington Nationals. So that's what I would look at. I would look at Singer, and I would look at the Royals bats in this game. Astros versus the Rangers. Hunter Brown versus Cody Bradford. Hunter Brown, 61 plate appearances, 333 batting average against him. Then you got Cody Bradford going up against the Astros, which the Astros looked good in their last series, but they didn't look very good against the Yankees. So which Astros are we going to get? Now they're on the road, where they did do better in the World Series. Against, this is a division series, or AL Championship Series. We're looking at this. 61 plate appearances, 333 batting average, 13.1 K percentage. Very low K percentage. And then we look at what Hunter Brown did. His last start. His last start came against the Yankees. 4 innings pitched, 2 walks, 5 Ks, no earned runs. Got 15.4, but he ended up no decision because it only lasted 4 innings. They were just getting to pitch count. The Yankees were getting to that. I would still probably rather take the Rangers bats here. I don't know if I want to go against Bradford. We'll look at the numbers, but Texas bats against him. Jonah Heim's 2 for 10, but those 2 hits were doubles. Marcus Semien 6 for 11 with the double. You've got Corey Seager 3 for 8 with the double. Helped me win $150 2 nights ago with his home run, which I'm very excited about. Adolis Garcia. Take a look at Adolis Garcia World Series compared to what he looks like now, and you are not going to convince me dude is not on roids. He is Adolis Bonds Garcia. There is absolutely no way he's natural right now. Don't know how he's passing these tests, but he hits bombs, and now he is bondsed out. I'm all in on Adolis Garcia. Let him juice. I don't care. Let the balls fly. Let us make money. Cheaper options you could use would be Travis Jankowski if he's in there, Ezekiel Duran, Evan Carter, just depends on the lineup. Leody, Tavares, not too bad either. So I'm probably sticking away from Hunter Brown. And then we look at Cody Bradford. Coming in here, game log wise, pitched 5 innings against the Cubs, was up big. They won 11-2, only gave up 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, had 20.9 fantasy points at 5,700. Now they bumped him up to 6,700. Tournaments, I'm okay with Cody Bradford. I don't mind Cody Bradford being a tournament pick. I'm okay with that. I don't trust him in cash. And the Astros bats, Kyle Tucker, Yordan, lefty on lefty, they both hit lefties well. This is fact. So I would be on them. Then we look at the righty bats. Altuve hits lefties well. You could, Yonder Diaz, you love Diaz against the lefty. I'm probably, most likely, factually, not going to take either of these pitchers. I don't think. At the moment, I'm not. Maybe if our 20,000 simulations throw out that they're in a good spot, we could see. But I'd rather take the bats in this one. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think we'll take advantage of that, and we will take both the Rangers bats and the Astros bats and count our money. Brings us to the next game, Mariners at the Brewers. Logan Gilbert versus Freddie Peralta. Gilbert, 22 plate appearances, doesn't see him much. 333 batting average. Peralta, 21 plate appearances, 111. So if we look at what they did last week, Logan Gilbert is the second highest priced pitcher on the slate, 9,600. A vastly huge difference from 11,000 from Strider. We look at this. Boston, not that good of an offensive team, even though I think they won 4 in a row. He had success against them. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, 26.8 fantasy points. So look at that. He has a little bit better matchup here against Milwaukee. 9,600. I understand that. And then right behind him, Freddie Peralta here against Seattle. Splits-wise, I mean, he played the Mets at Citi Field. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, 30.3 fantasy points. He has now gone up $2,000 from his start against the Mets because now he's at home, and it is a better hitter's park. So it will take away from him. And this is a really good Mariners team. We know that. They both had semi-success against the opposing team. Obviously, they're right around the same price, so I don't think you could go wrong here. I think both of those are only tournament options. I don't think you're looking at cash. If you are looking for the bats in this one, I think you're looking Mariners side. You're looking at J.P. Crawford. You're looking at Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, the big dumper. Like, you would be looking at that lineup. Flip side of that, I mean, we could just kind of look real quick. Hitter-wise Polanco a little bit. I'd rather take, I don't think Garver will be in there. Garver is the catcher I take against lefty pitchers. He shouldn't be in there. Cal Raleigh's one you could look at. Luke Raley's a little bit cheaper option. Haniger's a little bit. You've got Rojas. Probably not Josh Rojas. So, yeah, it's basically probably Haniger and up, and I minus Garver. I'm probably off of the Garver train there. Then the Milwaukee bats you could be looking at. Yelich, obviously. William Contreras. Rhys Hoskins could take him deep. Willie Adames, Sal Frelick. Jackson Chourio, still pretty cheap at 3,500. I don't mind him. I mean, if you need a cheap catching option and Gary Sanchez starts, okay. But you look at this. He has not done anything this season. Still hitless in 3 games. He has fallen so far. It's wild. So, yeah, I would... Tournament-wise, I'm okay if you take both of these pitchers for only tournaments. I'm probably more leaning towards the bats in this one. Maybe a little bit more of the Mariners bats over the Brewers, but there are a few Brewers bats you could look at. Then the final game on the slate, we got the Red Sox at the Angels. We got Cutter Crawford versus Griffin Canning. 25 plate appearances for Crawford, 130 batting average. Angels have been putting up some runs since they had a team meeting game 2 of the season. Griffin Canning, 30 plate appearances, 179. They've both had success against the opposing teams, but both of the opposing teams have been hitting well lately. And honestly, there's just so many other options. I would not be looking at them for cash at all. But you come down here. Griffin Canning, 7,000 game log wise. Yeah, against Baltimore, lasted 5 innings, but gave up 5 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 0.5 fantasy points. I'm off of him. I would look at a Boston stack. And then you go up a little bit. Cutter Crawford is right here at 8,400. Game log wise, coming off a great start against Seattle. 6 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, 25.1. I'm probably leaning a little bit more towards Crawford for tournaments. I don't want Canning at all. But I would look at the bats on both sides. Then I would look at the hitters. So, but there is some weather concern. So it's LA or it's Anaheim, so we'll see. But the Boston bats that I would look at would be Devers. Tyler O'Neill has been great. I would look at Yoshida, lefty and righty matchup. Trevor Story, Casas, Duran. I'm probably off of Rafaela and Valdez. Crone, I really only like to use against lefty, but revenge factor, if he plays, he's playing one of his old teams. You could look at that at 3,300. Angels bats, it's obviously Mike Trout, it's Taylor Ward, Logan O'Hoppe, Brandon Drury. You could go Nolan Schanuel, cheaper option. He's gotten positive fantasy points every single game, but he's only batting 188, so that's something to look at. Trout has gotten, Trout's been good, batting 273. He already has 3 home runs on the year. Could go, would not be surprised to see Trout hit a home run back at home here. So, there you have it. We've got the batters. We've got the pitchers. We broke it down for you. Now, let's take a look at the top 20 batters after 10,000 simulations. Again, this can and most likely will change once we get through 20,000 simulations. So definitely check out the Discord in the description for when we've updated the core plays and stuff like that. And then make sure you check out the all the other things on the website, MLB tab, everything underneath here you can find will change and update. We probably won't update the batter splits until maybe a couple more weeks of the season, just to get like a full month under our belt. We'll see. I don't know yet. So we'll kind of see there. So as of now, these are the top 20 batters that the algorithm has spit out after 10,000 simulations. Number 1, Kyle Tucker. Number 2, Acuna. Number 3, 4, and 5, all Tampa Bay bats. Brandon Lau, Randy Arozarena, and Isaac Paredes, all in Coors. Let's just look at the Coors bat. Oh, that's not on the slate. Number 6 is Bobby Witt Jr. 7, Jonathan India. 8, Marcus Semien. 9, Ozzie Albies. 10, 11, and 12, Gleyber Torres, Aaron Judge, and Juan Soto. 13, Matt Olson. 14, Mookie Betts. 15, Kyle Schwarber. 16, Rafael Devers. 17, Spencer Torkelson. 18, Mark Canha. 19, Bryce Harper. And number 20, Justin Turner. Now, 21 is Vlad Guerrero. He does seem to feast at Yankee Stadium. I know he's had at least one, but I think he's had multiple 3 home run games or multi-hit home run games in the stadium, which, if you want to do factor, again, it wasn't against Stroman, but he just feasts here. So he'd be another one that I'd look at. So out of the top 20, we had 2 Toronto bats. We had 2 Detroit bats, 2 Philly bats, 1 Boston, 1 LA Dodgers, which is surprising to me. 3 Atlanta bats, 3 Yankees bats, 3 Tampa Bay bats, 1 Kansas City, 1 Cincinnati, and 1 Houston, which also surprises me. Would not be surprised after doing 10,000 more simulations if we see more Houston bats there, for sure. If we see more LA bats, the Dodgers bats there as well. And I think maybe a couple more Cincinnati bats. So other than that, those are the first 20 after 10,000 simulations. We'll have everything on the website. What we have on the website, we've got player projections, gives us our last 5 games, gives us the Vegas numbers, stuff like that. Simulations, which we've talked about. Vegas odds, which is self-explanatory. Batter splits, BVP matchups. Some people like BVP, some people don't. But if there's like someone who's had, say, 30 plate appearances and has like 20 hits and 30 plate appearances, they obviously see the ball better out of their hand, so we can take advantage of that as well. We've got our cheat sheet. So what our cheat sheet consists of are 6 to 7 players at each position: pitcher, catcher, first, second, third, shortstop, and then usually like 14 outfielders for cash. And then the same thing, 6 or 7 batters for pitcher, catcher, first, second, third, shortstop, and then another 14 for tournaments. Then we have our stacks. Let me get the cheat sheet real quick, and I'll show you guys. All right, so this is the cheat sheet for MLB. If you've been with us for NBA, it's kind of basically the same thing, but this is yesterday, obviously, and they are in the preference that we or order of preference. So, I mean, I thought it was self-explanatory with the ranks. I guess it wasn't, but these are the way we like them. Do they work out all the time? No. It's true. I'm not going to be right every single day, I promise you. So, obviously, if you're using my advice, it's still your money. So, play your money as you would. I'm just trying to help you. And then the stacks, the pitcher to stack against, the team to stack against, so on and so forth. We've got a weather tab that lets you know if there's any concerns. We've got early lineups, main lineups, home run spots, and everything like that. Wednesday night, we went 3 for 3 with home runs. We had Judge, we had Jordan, we had Corey Seager. All three of them hit home runs. So that was that. We had a lot of fun. I mean, we are building something, hopefully. Hopefully this is your go-to podcast, whatever you want to call it, for the day. I wonder if I should like put this on like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I don't know how to do that. But if I can figure out a way to do that, I will put it on there too so you guys can listen while you drive. I have been told that some of you actually listen to it on your drive to work, which is awesome. That's awesome. Be careful, obviously, but if this is what we can do, if you can click on those ads while you're driving safely, I'm okay with that as well. Any of that little bit helps, guys. Clicking on ads definitely helps. It's free. It's a click of the button. Leaving comments, leaving likes on the video has boosted our videos into the YouTube algorithm right now. Obviously not as big as like Stochastic or Roto Grinders, but they've got like 50 or 60 employees. It's me. This is only me. And they don't go through this. Honestly, and this is my opinion, sometimes I feel like they give you like 4 or 5 players that to go for, but then they go the opposite because they're playing like 150. They're maxing lineups every day. That's my feeling. I would love to have like a subscription to every single lineup optimizer and then compare it to what we put out there like over a month and give you guys that data. I just don't have the money for those subscriptions to log into every single lineup subscriber out there. So maybe one day, maybe. But as of now, that's what I've got in this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you have, hit that like button. Make sure this weekend that I will be putting out a video for Saturday, but we're going out for my birthday Saturday night. I don't know if there'll be a video Sunday, but I'll try to get all the content out for you Sunday as much as I can. We'll just see how it plays out. So that's what I've got. Good luck, and as always, let's bring home that bacon. Peace!